All right. What's up, guys? We got MAXPAX down in the bottom left side of the map up against REYNOR. It's a big boy semi-finals in the ESL EU Weekly 220. It's a stacked bracket today. These guys have had to fight hard to get here. MAXPAX getting through Wayne, REYNOR getting through a very hard Protoss opponent in the previous round as well. And both sides have warmed up for this matchup. Now, MAXPAX looked pretty standard in his play. Whereas REYNOR did start to mix in a few slight curveballs here and there. Notice REYNOR has been favoring the 16 hatch again rather than the 15-15 in this matchup. And he's very good at defending the third base. So he's one of the players I don't mind with this, but we really want to keep a track of, can he defend this without falling behind? Great micro. Good micro by REYNOR and MAXPAX. MAXPAX only gets a single Zergling so far. Second gate to finish his wall off. He's going to move out to take that third momentarily. Now I do know often MAXPAX likes to squeeze in the third Nexus before the pylon. And yeah, it looks like he's going to do that. Ooh, Adept's getting surrounded, but I mean, it's surrounded in a choke point, so not the best spot for these Zerglings to fight. Oh, the Oracle comes in at the perfect time. Oh my god. Oh, REYNOR is absolutely moulding right now. Oh my god. 12 Zerglings, man. Both Adepts, what are the hit points? 5 and 6 hit points. The Zergling that wrapped around must have thought it was about to kill that Adept, but then the Oracle killed it, then the next one wrapped around it, got killed. Oh, that's frustrating. A great start for MAXPAX as these Adepts turn into defensive units, and he's already put himself in a spectacular position. Twilight Council and 3rd and 4th Gateway on the way. Wow, this looks kind of like the build that Harstem did on this exact same map in game 1. Is MAXPAX copying Harstem's build order? It could be Blink. It could be a crisp Blink timing. No. It's Glaive. It's the same build that Harstem did. Delays his natural gases. He's going to go 4-gate Glaives while controlling the Watchtower with these Adepts. He's already had a good start, which means the drone count's not as high as he'd like it to be. Oh, God. Oh, REYNOR's had a bad start, and it's going from bad to worse. That being said, great Queen positioning. Almost gets an Oracle. MAXPAX just zips out with 1 hit point. Notice MAXPAX only built 2 Oracles. Guys, do you think MAXPAX has done this build before? Or do you think he literally just watched Harstem kill REYNOR with it earlier in the tournament, and now he's like literally memorized the timings just from the stream? Because that's a very MAXPAX thing. The boy is a very quick learner. Overlord does not quite see that. Robo going down, of course, behind this. It's not an early Prism attack, guys. This is he's going to warp in 4 more Adepts and go. As long as he's not like supply blocked. Worst thing that could happen is getting supply blocked with this sort of build. So he's got, oh, that's only 8 Adepts, but there's 4 more here. So that's 12 Adepts. 12 Adepts pre-6 minutes. Oh my gosh, there's no Roach Horn. There's no Roach Horn. REYNOR took a lot of damage, so he felt he had to be greedy to catch up because of all those Zerglings and then drones. And he just taps out. REYNOR just GG'd there, guys. He literally saw the Adepts come onto the edge of creep, and he just said, nope, I'm dead. That's brutal. Well, that's a brutal way to start the series. MAXPAX just, I mean, it all started with the Zerglings trying to surround those Adepts. Just a little bit over-eager for REYNOR. It was almost a good move, you know? It was almost a good move, but it backfired. And REYNOR once again going 16 hatchery against an early probe. Now, to be fair, you actually can go 15 hatchery, I think, and get this down. Because I think a 15 hatchery is like 42 seconds, right? Something like that, maybe 43. I think you can get it down just before he gets to it. I saw that happen recently. It wouldn't have worked this game. So he got there just in time. Hatchery goes down on the 3rd base, right on 51 seconds. Not too bad. Squeezes another drone in. It's not 48 seconds is when that's meant to go down, but a 3-second differential is not the end of the world. So my Twitch chat says, I think actually Harstem saw MAXPAX doing that build and copied it off him. Before he even... Okay, so maybe MAXPAX was like, that worked effectively. REYNOR seems weak to that. Let's do that. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Probe being a bit of a nuisance. REYNOR's counter micro is on point. You want to bounce between these 2 patches to make it a little bit harder for him to micro. MAXPAX is not doing the super hectic micro. He's just doing the easy micro, where he's just occasionally doing a patch, and then he's making sure his structures start at the right time. A lot of players overemphasize the harassment. They put their Cybercore down 3 seconds late. I don't think it's really worth denying 10-15 minerals to slow down your Adept by a few seconds. Always the priority is do your build order correctly, and then, as a bonus, throw this harassment in the in-between time. Second pylon goes down right on the 100 minerals. And this is perfect. This is just great control for MAXPAX. Good opening. That being said, REYNOR is generally quite good on this map. 2 queens are on the way. Notice he's pulling off gas. Pulled off a bit early. REYNOR. Oh, he pulled off gas too early. He's like, ah, crap. So he goes back. Now, he's only got 14 workers in the main. Whoa, is he going to fix that? Is he Ling flooding? I mean, what? REYNOR's building these Zerglings so early. I mean, I guess it is a chrono boosted adept. His Overlord did see that. He sees the second chrono. I didn't realize you needed to build the Zerglings this early for the adept, but I guess he just wants to make sure he's completely ready on time. Third hatchery has to start before the adept can block it as well. And going up to 10 Zerglings is standard. 6 in the third, 4 in the main base. And yeah, you got to leave those 4 in the main on a separate control group. Nice play. Oh! Queen did venture off creep. And nice micro. MAXPAX is going to force a Spore Trick here. Good pull on the drones. Doesn't have to Spore Trick if he runs the drones away very nicely. The adepts join up on the front. There are 6 lings and a queen there. 2 queens, in fact, and those queens will easily push those adepts back. And they're going to pull away for a moment, let their shields regen. Don't want to throw their lives away. You know that REYNOR's already pulling drones. He's building lots of Zerglings and queens. It's not like REYNOR has the smoothest start here, even though he avoids any damage beyond a single Zergling. Because the indirect damage is I had to build a lot of defense. And even just little pinpricks of direct damage like that can be very effective. First Oracle's about to pop out, which is why this early Zergling timing is best just to snipe the probe and then get out. Yes, very nicely done. Only loses 2 Zerglings. Well worth it. Cost for cost. Same cost as a probe, but you're delaying the third as well. If he goes back in right now and gets it, that would be huge. I would have ran past the Adepts, but I think he knows MAXPAX is so quick. He would just turn around, get back up the ramp. You'd lose 3 Zerglings for nothing. Oh, gets another creep tumor. That's annoying. REYNOR, oversaturated third, oversaturated main. That's because he's waiting until the Spore in the defense ring is a little bit up. You see, he's got to get his Overlords pushed out a little bit more. This Overlord's poorly positioned. That's one thing I would say is REYNOR could maybe do a little bit better job of rallying the Overlords as he builds them, rather than waiting for them to pop, because sometimes there are little holes in his vision. But getting this hole filled in so he can see the Oracles coming in is a huge move. Roboforge and Twilight's on the way. Off just 2 Oracles. Old school opening for MAXPAX. This looks like a Charger Model Archon opening. And we know that REYNOR was struggling with Christianer's weird Archon drop into double Robo Immortal recently on the ladder. Even in games where multiple Prisms died while harassing, we still saw REYNOR lose in that kind of meme replay he sent me. Where he was kind of laughing at himself saying, yeah, I killed a Prism with 2 Archons in it, killed a Prism with 4 Zealots in it, still lost the game to a 3-base push. Be interested to see if MAXPAX... I mean, MAXPAX hates second Robo. I don't know if I've ever seen him go second Robo. I doubt he does that, but Charge and Archon will be the play, going up to 6 gateways. Third base is doing well. The Chrono Boost is keeping him pretty much on par with REYNOR's work account as REYNOR starts his 4th base at 5:30. 4 Adepts and 2 Oracles, or 5 Adepts I should say, still hanging out on the front lines. He's going to Revelate and try to kill some creep tumors. Oh, REYNOR helps him out. He says, denied, no XP for you. MAXPAX kind of surprised that REYNOR does want to join the cause. Templar Archives coming in. 6-gate charge Archon is not a bad pressure. It forces Roaches out of your opponent. REYNOR did not want to build Roaches in that last game. Adepts poking forward, Oracles in the north. And the Adepts are in the south. Queen and Zerglings coming in. Good micro on the Adepts. Gets to the mineral lines. Very good mineral line positioning. Surprised that he decides to fight with the Zerglings here. Queens are on top though. Should be able to kill the red hit point Adepts pretty quickly. Great Spore Trick on the first one. Still loses 2 drones and he will lose a third. Getting a few Zerglings, 3 drones, mining time, a Spore Trick. I don't think that's too bad, especially if your Oracles get in and get a few more. Only got 1 more on the Oracles. Oracles are on 4 kills and 2 kills. Archons have warped in. There's a battery at the third. Robobay coming in. Oh, it's Charge Archon Disruptor. Old school, baby. Man, I love that MAXPAX is mixing it up. I love Charge Archon Disruptor. It's one of my favorite styles. Second Robo coming in. Very good for killing units on the ground. And we see what appears to be a Roach max for REYNOR. No tech, massing Roaches off 74 drones. It's the correct play to defend this pressure. Doesn't have that much out yet, though. The Roaches are still rallying into the front line. Queen needs to pull back. He needs to micro these units back. Lings are trying to run around the backside, but they don't quite set off the stasis trap. The Queens are starting to fall here. The Roach count's coming forward. The Archon's doing pretty good. I think REYNOR, if he did a little bit more spreading backwards, maybe could have taken a slightly more optimal fight. Oracles get 3 drones. At the end of the day, kills an Archon, kills a bunch of Zealots. And stasis trap goes down. Observer goes down. Good fight for REYNOR. Trading almost 600 resources better. He's got Overlord speed on the way. Wow. It still feels like a Roach max to me. Which could work, right? Because you've already killed an Archon. There's only 1 Immortal out. I think the best thing here is to go maximum 3 Disruptors and probably start building Immortals after 2. I think 3 Disruptors is good. Yeah, he's gonna German taxi the front line. MAXPAX, if he sees the Dropper Lord, would be huge, but he doesn't see it. It's just out of vision on the left. He sees the 4th. He sees no gas on that base. The gas is being spread out. Might ring his alarm bell a little bit. Some cannons and batteries are going up. The 3rd base is actually kind of vulnerable right now. Disruptors building. He's not building out of both Robos. More Disruptors trying to build. He's just got no firepower. He needs more Immortals in here as well, I believe. 2 Disruptors are good, but remember, REYNOR can dodge against the Disruptors. You need more raw firepower. Disruptors are they're more powerful the more supporting units they have. So you could have 6 Disruptors right now. It wouldn't be that amazing because there's no supporting units. The Zealots are going to help out. The first Disruptor shot was a bit of a whiff. Second Disruptor shot gets 3 Ravagers. That's a big kill. With no battery overcharge, this is hard. Zealots coming in from the right, though. Oh, the Zealots are doing good. Zealots do very good from the right. Queens take a triple or a double hit there, but they do transfuse back up immediately. Disruptor's struggling to come in from both sides, and he just doesn't have any firepower. No battery overcharge. He's fighting away from cannons as well, which I think is a mistake. I think he should have been pulling back on both sides and delaying the fight as long as possible. Despite that, you know, it looks like REYNOR's force is thinning out. That Disruptor shot does land, but he's breached, and REYNOR's supply is insane. REYNOR's supply tells us a story of you built way too much tech, Mr. Protoss. You did, didn't you? And this is what I was looking for REYNOR. I feel like he's been very predictable lately, very defensive, and I think sometimes you've just got to go for a dumb Roach max. It's not the most technical or fancy play. It doesn't feel like you're outsmarting your opponent, but if you have good macro, good defense, and then you surprise them with it, it is brutally effective. Dude, the Ravager Cocoon Morph. The Ravager into Bile combo was sick! REYNOR gets rid of the 3rd. The Roaches and Ravagers in the main are killing it. Look, another Ravager at a choke point. Oh, he's being as annoying as he possibly can. Great play here by REYNOR. 3rd's been overwhelmed. I don't even know if he knows about that 4th. He's seen the cannon and the battery, I guess, but he's already cleansing everything. MAXPAX down to 69 supply. And I think 2 Disruptors, holding your shots back and chronoing Immortals nonstop, pulling back behind the cannons on the 3rd, pulling back up the ramp on the natural, and spreading your forces out might be the way. It's just tricky because REYNOR can always send his whole force north if you're defending these 2. But I think as long as you defend on 3 base, you are okay there as MAXPAX. Either way, nice Roach max out of REYNOR. All right, MAXPAX in the top left, once again sending a probe out even before. You see the 2nd probe came out to build the pylon. He wants to ensure that REYNOR cannot get his natural up. And that's why I love 15-15, because you get that expansion down so early. We just had some pretty big lag spikes there. I hope that wasn't me. I hope that was a different player. My ping's pretty stable, but I think the players probably felt that. I imagine it's one of the observers. There's like 10 people casting this game live alongside me. And he's going to block that expansion. Now, REYNOR does have to go 17 hatchery, gets it up in 51 seconds. It's not the worst opening, but I do love getting that hatchery up against the dirty Protoss player. And, oh, what? Why are you calling them dirty? No, I just mean if they block you, man. If someone's trying to block your expansion, you get in there, get the expansion first. It just feels good. It feels like you're denying what they want to do. The funny thing is, MAXPAX just still goes for the block. He'll go for it 3 games in a row, where the 15 hatch goes down every time, and he never gets the block. And it's kind of bizarre to watch. You're like, okay, why are we doing? Does he not care? And for MAXPAX, I think sometimes he's just like, nah, this is my build. Or maybe he's like, well, I just want to make sure they don't get away with the hatch gas pool. I hate playing against the hatch gas pool, maybe. Unless they have the 3rd base in or the natural, I should say, in the awkward, the 2nd base in an awkward position. Break muta glass in case of emergency is what the chat's saying. I think a muta swap is always a great thing for giving an extra dynamic. I think Nidus Worms, weird drops. I think there's a lot of things Protoss, Zergs don't do much versus Protoss, that can be blended into your play against Protoss to keep yourself hard to pin down and react to. You really need to put yourself in the Protoss shoes. And I think a lot of the Zerg players have an issue where they just try to play the most standard style, defend the early game and get ahead. And don't get me wrong, you can do cool stuff, but like if you play that style, you have to have some explosive mid-game attacks. The Roach max we just saw, one of the great ones. Dropping the queens to kill the oracles, just max Roach, go, go, go. Surprise Mutalisks is great. And then there's also, just macro into Lurkers. Now the thing is, if you just macro into Lurkers every game, it's trash. Because Protoss expects it, and they're very quick to get up to a full fourth base mining, double robo, and storms and feedbacks and disruptors and immortals, and it's just not that good. But if they're worried about a Roach max hitting them, they're not sure, is it a Roach max? Is it a Lurker game? Oh, which one is it? I saw an infestation pit. I think he's going Lurkers. Zerg cancels it once the scout's gone. He's just going for a big Roach max. Catches him off guard. So you got to realize that Protoss needs to tailor their play to what the Zerg is doing. And if you are predictable as a Zerg, you are naturally going to suck at this matchup and Protoss will appear to be broken. TvP at all times has been about catching Protoss off guard. Same in PvP, same in ZvP. Nice shade in. Does not get a drone though. Doesn't get a Zergling. Great drone micro from REYNOR. Avoiding that shade. Pulling those drones back as necessary. And now his Lings are going to try and catch him. He's got 12 Lings going across. 6 more Lings coming out. If he can catch those on the way home, this could be huge. But no, the other Lings are staying at home. Too careful. If he sent all of them and caught those Adepts, I would have loved it. Oh, he's just going for the probe snipe and nothing else. He gets it. But he still loses 5 Zerglings, which is, of course, a very negative trade. Oracle does get a 6th one, and that probe comes in. 2 Adepts running in. They're diving left while shading in towards the right side. And he shades into that main base. 2 Queens are ready. Focus fire on the weak Adept. Very important maneuver. I love that preemptive Spore trick. But he's still going to lose a drone or 2 here. Oh, he's going to do another one. There we go. Does do that one. Lings will finally clean up. Oracle comes in. Tries to go fishing. Doesn't find nothing. He don't find nothing. That's a double negative pig. There's a certain charm to speaking in double negatives. Don't know what it is, but I like it. 4 more drones coming out. There is a lot of lava available because he's lost so much mining time. Oh god, the drones! The drones! Oh no, the Oracle, seeing those eggs, knew they were going to pop soon. Gets big damage, and the Spore's out of position in the main as well. Oh, transfuse! Only loses 1, would have been 2. Great transfuse, that's actually worth it, guys. But the Oracle goes back into the natural, gets itself another drone anyway. Oh, I think it did anyway. That is very tough. So we've seen 4 drones go down. 8 Zerglings, units lost tab, good for MAXPAX. MAXPAX early game is pristine. 3rd base is up, Forge and Twilight coming down just before the 5-minute mark. There's been so much fighting this game. Yes, the blink will be very late. 14 more Lings are building, which is absolutely awesome. These Lings could run in and pick off these long-distance probes and the ones on the 3rd. This is a good move for REYNOR. This can get him back in this game, but he's got to get out there. The Overlord's on the pillar. Queens can defend along with the Zerglings at home. I think 14 is enough to defend those Adepts. Going to take out the Adept as well as the morphing other units. Oracle comes in and gets 4 drones, though. That's big. That's really big. Lings are going to take out the Adept and now the Zealot. That means there's 3 more probes there that could go down. Oh, this is big pickoffs. Big pickoffs. Natural is a little open, but Queen and Spore is there. Oh my god, the Oracle on the left just got more damage as well. I think he just got a 5th and a 6th kill. Oh, that Oracle on the left of the 3rd. I think REYNOR had queued his drones back to mining, said run there, go back to mining, thinking the Oracle would leave, and MAXPAX just left it on hold position with its laser on because it had so much energy it could afford to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, the 7 probes or 6 probes is actually massive. It really helps tie things up. Units lost tab a little bit closer. He'll grab another probe that's rallying out there. He's got to keep microing, though. This is very intense on the APM, even for a guy like REYNOR, who's currently averaging 1,300 APM. What? What? So for those who don't know, Lambo and a bunch of the European Zergs have recently found out, okay, I'll talk about it in a sec, that basically apparently there's a custom keyboard you can get that has like built-in software or something where you can have different repeat rate for different keys. So I think for like holding down the Zergling key or something like that and certain things, they basically just want it to spam clicks like 1,000 times a second with rapid fire. And I think they've set that up just for certain keys while other keys are slower so they can kind of manage the repeat rate to build whatever they need. So I'm imagining that's part of why we're seeing 1,200 average APM is just him holding down keys to queue up Zerglings instantly and that sort of thing. Probably, I think when you're building Zerglings, because you're so often building 10, 15, 20 units at once, you really want those clicks to get done in like less than 1/10 of a second. Probably, for these guys, probably less than 100th of a second, I would imagine. If you're happy to spend all your lava on it, it's a good way to do it. Lings do surround the Adepts. They go down. Queen's coming forward. Lings are there as well. He's trying to go Hive and Hydra Den. Skipping the Roaches, something that Reynor likes to do. It's very powerful, but it does leave him vulnerable, not having those meaty Roaches on the defense. Lings come in for a cancel on the 4th. Oracle will save it, though. Will it? Will it? Oh, yes it will. Just barely. That's clutch. MAXPAX on the front now with his Stalker pressure. He's getting some good trades. Remember, Blink's not even done yet. That Blink is very late, but protecting the 4th is huge. Hive's almost done. Lurker Den is on the way. This is really well done in terms of the Lurker timing, but if he loses his 4th base, that is tough. Lings are going to go around. He's going to try and cancel that 4th. The Lings in the 3rd base force a few more Stalker weapons there. 4th base is going to go down. Oh god, Adept's getting in. Hydra and Queen not going to be able to defend that. The Lings have to come in from behind. He does set off the stasis with the front-running Zerglings. Hatchery goes down. Stalker's trying to blink away. The Oracle saved the day. Same time, Adept's doing damage in the natural. This is a problem for Reynor right now. He's taking damage in his mineral line. His 4th base goes down and has not started rebuilding. I personally dislike that front and 4th normally, but I can see why he took it. Because he doesn't, this base always gets killed by Blink. I actually think the bottom left is very hard for them to push all the way to that corner of the map with Blink Stalkers. It's so far away. And that's why I like the bottom left as an alternate. Problem, Oracles can kill it while it's building because it's so far off creep. So there's downsides to all the different base locations on this map. Reynor's middle one, though, getting punished has really cost him. Cannon Battery, more Stalkers, and an Oracle at his 4th base. Hydraling is out. He's got movement speed. He does not have Groove Spines. Remember, I actually pointed this out when we were coaching him on that game versus Christianer as well the other day. He forgot Groove Spines, and I was like, man, that's actually a huge upgrade when you're Hydra-focused. However, in this game, you could argue he's not really Hydra-focused. He's Lurker-Ling-focused. And that's why he actually can't afford that upgrade, because losing this base, losing this gas income, all of his money's going towards Lurker and Lurker upgrades. Now, he's alive right now. Oh, the wall off on the right's good. I was going to say running Lurkers in behind this base and trying to run a Lurker in from the left and get it into the natural while poking the pushing the front with Lurkers is usually the goal. You can split push if you get your Lurker upgrades early enough, and I think that's what he'd like to do here. But it's only Stalker Colossus. Wait, he's got 27 Stalkers. Oh, MAXPAX. This is the same situation he ran into with Cyril. He was smashing Cyril on Radu set the other day. And then Cyril was like, oh my god, and he was so frustrated. And then he was like, you know what? MAXPAX's army is so garbage because he just keeps warping in Stalkers. He's been ahead for so long, but he's just not making a better army. This is a big problem MAXPAX runs into with this matchup is when he's ahead, he sometimes just keeps warping in Stalkers. And they are so bad against Lurkers. Stalker Colossus is good against the Lings, the Colossus versus the Lings. Stalkers are good at holding map control, but I mean, 28? Do we need 28 Stalkers? It seems like too many. I do like this, though. As long as you keep the Lurkers on the defensive, that could be nice. It might be time to send some Lurkers forward. And because there's no way your Lurkers can be broken, and he is doing that, but he's only got 3 Lurkers on that side. Okay, it'll be 6. Split army push, Stalker Oracle thinking about blinking in the main, not a bad move. Clearing up creep, getting stasis traps there is nice. Lurkers running around. The Zealot Stalker Colossus coming up. He needs more detection, though, right now. There's another Observer building. It's not in position. Those Lurkers could do very well. MAXPAX needs to pull back and defend his base. This army positioning is kind of wild for him. Storm and Disruptors are coming in, so he's rounding out his composition. He's not there yet, and pushing up this ramp, I think, is a bad idea. Unless he's pushing the right side at the same time, which, okay, he's going to try it. 15 Lurkers with range and movement speed. +1 range is there. Hydras do not have Groove Spines, but he's only got a few of them. They're more of a support unit than anything else. He does get rid of the Observer, pushing the left side at the same time. That Stalker in the wall off goes down. The Lings and the Hydras trying to defend from the Zealots. He's going to try and flood into that natural. Disruptor does bust a big Disruptor shot. Good pullback for Reynor on the left. This allows him to take position on the right side. He's got to click on that battery overcharge, I would imagine. Oh, the Lurker's getting hit, but good positioning. Left side does get cleaned up, though. MAXPAX with a lovely cleanup on the left. Disruptors and Storm are out. With no Vipers, this is going to be hard, though, because the Disruptors are going to take pot shots. He's got to dodge these shots. He's got to dodge. He's got to dodge. Great spready. Only loses 1 Lurker. Only gets hit with 1 Lurker as well. And now there's no detection with the cannon. He has to keep using Revelations, but MAXPAX Oracle management's been great. He didn't run probes away. He's already lost 15 workers. He's going to bust the position. Not a lot of support here. The Hydra Lurker fighting as hard as they can. The Stalkers are in a big spread out line. Oh, a massive Disruptor takes out 3 Lurkers. Zealots coming in as well. The Hydra Ling Lurker are trying to hold the line. If he gets rid of this base, it is massive. The top right base being sneakily taken to the top right side of the map. This is game 3, the decider. Reynor with the quick Lurker Viper skipping Roach tack entirely. Plays a bit greedy, gets away with it. Triple Robo Disruptor is building, as are High Templar with Storm, though. MAXPAX is building the anti-Lurker Massacre Force. Feedbacks on the Vipers, Storms on the Hydraling, Disruptors to drop the big balls on, of course, those Lurkers. Now, Rain is only on 77 workers. He's got a 5th base up now, though. I actually wouldn't mind him going like 7 or 8 more workers because it's MAXPAX. You know he's going to counterattack you, and getting a few spines across these bases is good. However, that would force it to late game. We want to win now. We've got an advantage if you're Raynor. You want to go. Problem for him is he doesn't know about that top right base until... Well, yes, he does. Changeling sees it. But yeah, he's basically going to just put himself on a timer. No second Evo, no Ultra Cavern, no Adrenal Glands, no Spire, no extra drones. Sitting on 77 workers and massing Hydraling Lurker Viper is not a bad way to play, but missing Groove Spines is a problem. It's a big one. Being down 1 range on the Hydras does suck. They're a very important support unit. I love the Lurker harassing the top right. He's going to need to spread detection up there. Zealots are trying to block it. He's trying to block that Lurker, and indeed, the Lurker does get forced to burrow out there. Oracle tag. Zealots clean it up. Nicely done. Prism in the bottom left. Queens are going after it. And the Zealots could probably drop to fight that. He's once again going to push the left side, but MAXPAX is ready for it. I don't think this is going to work. I think it's actually really bad. Unless he gets some ducks, Oh, feedback only on one of the Vipers. Only one Archon gets grabbed. Only one Archon gets grabbed. The rest of the army, where is it? Is this the whole army? Oh, he's really trying to push the front. This is a crazy attack. Colossus gets grabbed. Disruptor does shoot a massive Disruptor shot in the middle of those Lurkers. Those are the shots you got to watch out for. Lings try to go to the right side. I really feel like Raynor needs to be hitting multiple angles. You can't really force your way through one side. Problem is, if he has less than 10 Lurkers in a position, they're going to get blown through by this big army. Especially now as the Immortal count builds, that's very scary. Zealot's warping on the left side of the map. He's got 2 Lurkers down there defending. Raynor's splitting his Lurkers to the right. He's taking the Watchtower so that doesn't get spotted. Lings try to run away. He's re-rallying to the left, but he's only got energy on one of those Vipers, and that's an issue. He needs 2 of those Vipers to go gather energy while just keeping 1 on the front. But Raynor is in a chaotic situation, and with a Mama and 3 Immortals building at a time, I think MAXPAX has made it past the scariest part. Remember I said, Raynor is not preparing for late game. He needs to win very soon. He needs to do damage. Lurker's in there, will defend these Zealots. Top right base, he's going to bust through very easily. That's good. That's good. Putting MAXPAX back to 4 base, it extends the duration at which you can hang out in this game. But I still feel without a second Evo chamber, you're in trouble. He's still building a lot of Zerglings. Remember, these Lings suck. This is one of the big things. I feel like Raynor is by default used to building a lot of Zerglings to add to his composition. And all they really do is tank damage. And against what? Colossus, Archon, Storm? They ain't tanking a lot of damage. They're just getting blitzed through. So I would argue there's actually a bit of a problem with how he's playing right now. Warp Prism in the right side now. It's rotated. Disruptor shots do whiff as the Lurker runs away. 5 base against 4 base, but Raynor is still not preparing for the late game. And that's a problem. If Raynor slows this game down and prepares for late game, I think he can win it. But if he keeps trying to force the issue with Hydra Lurker, it's going to be hard to get through this army. As long as MAXPAX micros correctly, I would favor him in this scenario. Because 8 Immortals, a Colossus, 6 Disruptors, 4 High Templar, that is simply meant to counter Raynor's army. Raynor's been on this army, this position, for way too long. He finally starts the second Evo chamber, thinking about melee carapace, but it's so belated. And that's going to slow him down. That being said, good siege. He should get out, though. Yeah, you don't want to give MAXPAX the opportunity to set up a fight. I like this. This is Disruptor High Templar on the left, A-move army on the right. So this is the I need to micro my spells for this army to do well. And this army is more like just have overwhelming numbers and A-move. That's a very good way to split your army, guys. If you guys struggle with your APM and your attention, you need to split your army in 2 sides. Put all the spellcasters and fancy units on one side. You can give them some fighting units as well. But make it so that's the side that takes 80% of your attention and the other section of your army takes 20%. Or even less, right? Sometimes you just attack, move it, and look away. Zealots coming in. We do need to clean that up, and indeed he does. Carrier transition is finally starting. 2 carriers plus 1 air weapons. Lurker drop in the main. I wouldn't have minded him picking up and leaving the moment he saw the recall. He's going to at least spread them out to make it annoying to clean up. He pushes back on the right side. Stasis trap, very irritating to deal with. Army's going to shove through the middle. Random Colossus gets caught out. MAXPAX recall, actually, that might be really bad. Dude, that drop could be a problem because now he gets position. On the front, you got to be careful of the stasis traps. I think he can take position there, can't he? Ah, too many cannons. Feels like it'll take too long to get through. Army on the right pulls back. Okay, so Carapace is on the way. We should be seeing melee, Carapace, double Spire upgrades, and basically heading towards Broodlords. Looks like the Lurker does take out 5 probes there. But that's going to get cleaned up in a few seconds. At the same time, Queen's in trouble in the main. Raynor not transfusing. 2 Queens do fall. It's not too bad to get a bit lower on Queens. As long as you have enough Queens to respread creep, you should be good. His creep has not really been that amazing. Remember, Reynor's been very focused on attacking. But as he now adopts a slower stance, I definitely want to see him do that. I'd also love to see him split a Corruptor to deal with the Warp Prism. And indeed, there we go. 2 Corruptors will do that. 19 Corruptors on the map. A few of them starting to morph into Broodlords. Broodlords and Lurkers combined is the ultimate anti-ground army. MAXPAX, I believe, will probably want to be going Tempest here. But for now, MAXPAX needs to say, okay, you're slowing down. You're not trying to kill me anymore. I don't just need a 5th. I need a 6th. He should take this base straight away, since he's now covering. These are his 2 most important bases. And then I think he could get himself into a good position for the late game, because Reynor's got very minimal units to counterattack with. Now, Carapace coming in. A few Lurkers get caught on the right side. One of those goes down. Right now, MAXPAX has actually lost 1,000 more resources than Reynor. Reynor has a big bank, so he has an advantage, and he catches another Colossus. Last Colossus goes down. Disruptors. Oh, let loose the balls of war! Big Disruptors go forward. Reynor very slow on the spread. Loses himself a bunch of Lurkers. He's lost 27 Lurkers this game, not to mention the 5 drones that went down to those Disruptor shots. Good throw for MAXPAX. Low risk maneuver. +2 air attackers on the way for MAXPAX. He's only got the 1 Cyber Core, so he's just going to add attack upgrades for now. He's also only got +1 ground armor. As this game goes on, MAXPAX should be rounding those out. Melee and +2 Carapace starts. Adrenal Glands has not been made. More Broodlords making. Ultra Caverns on the way. Ultra Cavern is just in case he kills all the Immortals. He might mix them in later. He has no plan of using that until the Ultralisks get traded out. Corruptors catch Mama. Oh, he caught Mama. MAXPAX was trying to recall in the main. That move is too predictable these days. Everyone's using it. He does get caught. Disruptor gets caught on the retreat. Lurkers try to chase, and they do suffer some pretty big damage. Abducts could be big, though. Oh, those feedbacks, mate. There is still a Viper here, though. He could still... Oh, that feedback, it was mid-animation. That you could see the Viper starting to open its jaws up to throw that tentacle out, but it just couldn't quite get it. Great feedbacks from MAXPAX. Broodlords are causing issues. Ling's running in on the left. Still no Adrenal, remember. Stalker's going down, though, and a lot of probes will fall. Oh, that's big damage. That whole mineral line's in trouble. Broodlords get blinked in. 1 Broodlord goes down. They've got only a few Lurkers for support. You've got to make sure you always have Lurker support, but a lot of the Lurkers ran to the left side. Hydra's attacking a single carrier. Probes getting chased back by the Zergans. Broodlord's pulling back with these 2 Lurkers to try and defend. MAXPAX has to choose to counterattack or defend. And you know what, guys? Even though he defended the middle, he's lost the left side. MAXPAX needs to work hard on securing those bases and getting a lot of cannon battery in front of them. Leaving his 5th base open, this has been identified as Serral as MAXPAX's big weak point, is he doesn't secure a 5th base. He only takes 1 at a time, and he's very slow to re-expand. He tunnel visions on army efficiency in the late game. The thing is, he's not getting army efficiency right now. If you're behind on army trading and you're behind on bases, you are simply getting bled dry. And I love that Reynor is now remembering Adrenal, 2-2. He's got +1 melee, +2 Carapace is almost done. So even though I was calling for Reynor to transition to the late game a bit earlier, and I felt like he did it slowly, he got damage. He did keep MAXPAX off a 5th base for a long time. He's just denied the 5th base, which is massive at this moment, because there's almost no minerals right now for him. Corruptor's grabbing the Oracles. He got 1 of them. Ooh, Corruptor's going to go after this. There's no High Templar. Where are the High Templar? They're all on the right side with the Disruptors. Oh no, the carrier's getting taken out, as are the Tempests. His army being split. MAXPAX splitting his army up a bit too much for this stage of the game. Oh, the architecture of this map causing him troubles and really getting caught out. Corruptor's going wee-wee, taking out, I think, another carrier that just popped out there. 4 carriers, 2 Tempests going down, and MAXPAX feels like he's kind of all in. 7 Broodlords and 3 Lurkers. How the heck do you push through that? I do not know. Parasitic Bomb on the Oracle is going to take out the left Oracle. Always good catches, abducting Disruptors and Archons. Middle base goes down as well as 12 drones. I don't think Reynor cares because he's trading like an absolute savage. He is so much further ahead in the trading. +3 air weapons will finish for Protoss, but 2-2 is not far away for Zerg. And Reynor's only on 56 workers, but that's kind of good for him now because he doesn't want to expose too many bases. His army's so slow, Broodlord Lurker. He's kind of got to be in the right position at the right time. As these Zealots see the creep, actually goes in even before that and does catch a few drones. Broodlords are nearby though. Army on the left moving in. Army on the right moving forward. MAXPAX enjoying the army split right now. Army split's usually pretty good against a Broodlord player. You got to be very careful with those armies to make sure they don't get isolated by the Broodlords. Wherever the Broodlords are, you want to pull back on that side, push the other side. And then you can anticipate the Broodlords moving to respond, and then you push back in on the other side as well. Breaking the rocks right now are those Immortals. They go down very quickly, clearing up the creep. This denies Reynor's map vision. Oracle comes in, gets a few drones on the right side, pulls back before the Corruptors get in there. MAXPAX using all the tools in his arsenal. Problem is that his supply is so much lower and he doesn't have the money to max out. If you lose this many workers, normally you want to then get a bigger army. He doesn't have the supply. Or the like in his army, he doesn't have the money right now to build that supply. That's a big problem. 9 Broodlords, 16 Corruptors, 12 Lurkers, 2 Infestors, 3 Vipers. It's a great army right now. There's only 2 Lurkers on this right side. Reynor does not need to push right now, but he senses he's got an advantage, so he goes for it. Oh, Lurker's being morphed, do get caught. Nice fungal. There is a Lurker in the north. These Lurkers trying to run back and burrow here. Looks like the Zealots on the right side did get cleaned up. That army does get caught. Broodlords come back and with a fungal. Oh, gets a Disruptor. Heavy damage on the Immortals and the High Templar as well. Right side, more Immortals and High Templar moving in. The Lurkers, they're going to burrow. Hydra Infestor, got to pull out of that. More Lurkers coming in from behind. They get focused down. MAXPAX doing good to make this game scrappy. But remember, his economy sucks. He just never gets a 5th base up. That is MAXPAX's big weakness in this matchup. He's not good at securing and hanging on to a 5th base. He falls off in the end game. He's a fantastic defensive macro-focused player. But Reynor and Serral, the Basilisk Zergs, they found the weakness. And that is that 5th base. A lot of Protoss, they feel like, oh god, it's going to late game, oh god, I'm running out of time. But when they're playing MAXPAX, they realize that 5th base will always be exposed. Keep denying that, and MAXPAX will simply run out of money.